Hello folks, welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. You know, I thought I would do a flight in the HP Reverb G2. This headset is really old now. In fact, this is the version 1. The one I got from HP to do my review when it was first released. That's how old this headset is, and it's still going strong. And it's been a while since I've done a full flight in it, so since I'm now used to the Crystal, the Aero, the big screen beyond, I thought why not take it for a spin to see how it feels and compares to the real high-end VR headsets out there. And of course, why not fly the A2A Comanche out of Burning Blue Design Sibson. Now, you've probably seen this a few times on the channel now, but it's an absolute beautiful rendition. I've been here myself. In fact, I've jumped out of a plane from this very airfield. I can vouch for its realism. From 15,000 feet and from 0 feet. It looks amazing. So yeah, come along with me if you're interested. I'm recording this video in July. Hopefully it'll be out sometime in August, as I'm just making some videos ready for when I'm away. So welcome aboard the A2A Comanche, the very best general aviation aircraft we have, without a doubt. And let's get us started up. I'm not going to harp on about that because, you know, you've probably seen my first impression video. If not, I will link it in the description below. So, checklist here, which I can read perfectly fine in the Reverb G2. I'm not even super sampling it today, just thought I'd see what it's like at its native resolution. So pre-flight is complete, passengers briefed, seatbelts are secure, control lock's just been removed, parking brake is set, gear switch is in the down position, flaps are up, radios are off. We're all good with all of that. Rotating beacon is now on. So engine start. So we're going to head from Burning Blue Design Sibson to Burning Blue Design Thruxton. In fact, I feel so lucky being in the UK. There's plenty of beautiful add-ons now. Plenty of airfields from Pilot Plus and Burning Blue Design. So you'll often find me flying between them, in MSFS because I just can't get enough of them. Right. So fuel selector is on the desired tank, and mixture is fully rich. Prop fully forward. Throttle cracked, and master can now be switched on. I'll just take the headphones off so we can hear these beautiful sounds, because the sounds in this are absolutely first class, as you'd imagine. Right, so we'll put the fuel pump on, check the fuel pressure, looking good. Got a bit of flashing in the cockpit, I don't know what that is. Let's switch that off. I wonder if that's to do with voltage or something. You know, even that the light is flashing, that could be something that happens in the real Comanche. It's just all those little details that are modelled, which is amazing. Or it could just be because my battery's low, who knows. Right, so fuel pressure is okay. Fuel pump is on primer 1 to 5 strokes, so we'll just do that now. And then we'll make sure that's stowed. Okay, so mags can now be switched to both. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I actually pressed the start button, but we got to start. So, yeah, I think I pressed that one too many there. What a nit. But it's all right. We'll now just let the engine purr. Notice, every single start. It is true what Scott said, because I have been flying this a fair bit now. Every time she starts up, she just feels a bit different every time. I love it. Right, we'll talk more about the Reverb G2. I'm just going to warm the engine up. We'll put the avionics on. Put one light on for the landing light. There we go. And yeah, just making sure the oil pressure is coming up okay, and the cylinder head temperature. And I'll see you guys in a minute once we start taxiing. Look at that windsock. Oh my goodness me. Have to be very careful on takeoff today. But yeah, welcome to the A2A Comanche, guys, and this flight video. I really do enjoy sharing my flying on the channel, because really that's what this channel is about. VR and aviation. It's been a while since I've been to Sibson Aerodrome. I'll tell you what, it feels like I'm back there again in VR, that's for sure. Here we go then. We need to make sure we clear the trees. Runway is quite small here at Sibson, but we are up already. And straight away with this aircraft, which it's very hard to simulate this, and I think that's one of the reasons why the flight modelling is external. You really feel and sense that you're flying a lot more in this than other aircraft. Honestly, it's just that feeling of fluid flight. And look at that, can you see how the wings are flexing there and wobbling up and down? It's just a complete far cry from anything we've seen before in the sim. It really is. Right then, well, she's running a little bit better now we're in the air. I'm just going to back the mixture off a little bit. Take the prop back as well. And yeah, it's just... it makes you feel a little bit nervous flying this. It's how it really makes you feel. That is something it's very hard to review when it comes to A2A products, but I am looking at the engine instruments like a hawk, like I would in real life, listening intently for the engine, for any backfires, anything that might sound a bit strange. It's exactly how you would fly in real life, with a bit of paranoia, you know, that thing in the back of your mind that something could go wrong. There's no way that I approach the sim like this with other aircraft. There's very few anyway. Maybe the Black Square Cessna 310 is up there. But again, this is a completely new level of simulation. I think where this excels is perhaps the flight modelling, which just feels so sublime. It really does. So the Reverb G2. What do I think of it in 2023, having, you know, used so many different headsets now? I'm really impressed with it, guys. It's not like, it doesn't feel like I'm going back in time and thinking this feels rubbish. It feels really good. The display in this is excellent. In fact, even with the small sweet spot, now that I'm in it, it doesn't really matter. I can read all the gauges, no problems at all. I just have to move my head a little bit more, that's all. Beautiful view here outside. Very cloudy today though, and a bit of wind. I think what strikes me the most, actually, about this headset, where it lacks when compared to the Crystal, of course the clarity, but what strikes me more is the colours. And that's something I always raved about with the Reverb G2. It's such a really nice colour palette in this thing, but it does now look a bit washed out when compared to the Crystal and Aero. I never thought I'd say that, but again, it's not a big deal, and I think if I was flying with this for a couple of weeks, I wouldn't even notice. I really do hope one day that Pico step up to the plate and bring us a Pico 5 link. In fact, I need to email them again to keep moaning at them for it, because that would sell like hotcakes, I reckon anyway. It's funny, you know, I've been flying the A2A Comanche now for quite a while. I still haven't used the autopilot. I just love hand flying her. At the moment I am hands off, and you can see here I'm just trimmed up beautifully. Oh guys, honestly, sat here in my own Comanche and it feels like this is my own aircraft. In VR, it's such a wonderful place to be, it really is. And I plan on doing this a lot in August, but obviously not making videos because, if I'm honest with you guys, I'm absolutely fed up of making YouTube videos now. I need a break. I've hammered it this year, and I think it's time I had a break. But I will be, as I say, just posting a few that I've made over sort of June and July, around August time, and then just enjoying a bit of time off. So we're about 37 minutes out. I'm just going to enjoy this gorgeous, beautiful aircraft by A2A. I'm already excited about what they're going to bring out next. I'm hoping it's going to be perhaps the 182 or even the Cherokee, because oh, I've got so many hours in that thing in real life, it'd be great to revisit that. I have to say as well, I am quite surprised with the price. I think £40 for a GA aircraft that is right up there with the PMDGs of the world, that's great value in my book. Definitely. Anyway, I'm going to settle in now, and I'll see you a little bit further the road when we get near to Thruxton. Welcome back. The weather is definitely getting worse, or it feels like it. It's very blustery and yeah, quite cloudy. I'm just skirting the edge of this cloud base here, but we're now going to start descending. We're not far away, about 8 minutes, and all is well in the A2A Comanche. Listen to that wind. Oh, it's so good, isn't it? It just sounds so what's the word, just very fluid. Fluid is the word I'd use for many things about this aircraft, from the flight model to the sounds to everything, really. But it certainly is a bit blustery here today. So let's just bring up our checklist and we'll go through our approach checklist. I presume there is one. Yeah, there we go. So, autopilot is off, we haven't used it at all. Fuel pump can now go on. Fuel selector is still on the main tank, that's all good. Fuel levels, yep, they're fine. Fuel pressure is good. Mixture fully rich, yep, it's now rich. Prop fully forward, carb heat as required. Yeah, I think we don't need that at the moment. So one thing about this aircraft I do love, even though it is study level, it's also quite easy to fly so long as you manage everything correctly. I guess it's one of those aircraft it's easy to fly, hard to master. I guess that's one way of sort of looking at things. Here we've got a 20 knot at the moment headwind. So I think it's now time to contact Thruxton and see what the state of play is here.
Tower November 6229er, Papa 13 miles east, 2,400 feet to land.
November 6229er, Papa Tower. Altimeter 29.64120 at 13.
Oh, that's definitely off.
Make straight in runway 25.
See, I can read that, absolutely no problems without having to zoom in with the G2. Pretty impressive.
Make straight in runway 2529er, Papa.
Alright, straight in. I absolutely love the design of the Comanche. It's such a classic design, even though it doesn't look old as such, but it just looks right. Remember once a pilot said to me, if an aircraft looks right, it flies right. And that's definitely the case with the Comanche. So we have the airfield in sight. As I say, even though the G2 is Fresnel based in terms of its lenses, I still can see quite far into the distance, enough anyway. You know, all the things I said when it was first released, how sharp it is, it still stands today. That doesn't suddenly become void just because we have much better headsets in terms of visual fidelity. It still looks superb. That's one thing about this channel. I try and make sure that even though I am showing the high-end stuff, I like to keep with a headset over many years, because it's interesting to see how it feels as time moves on. I think the G2 overall is maturing very well indeed. Right, we'll just slow down a little bit more. She is a slippery beast, this Comanche.
Papa wind 220 at 1 tree. Clear to land runway 25.
Roger that. You can really feel the drag of that gear coming out, I tell you. Alright, prop fully forward, which actually does help slow down the aircraft, you know. Right, we'll see what this wind is doing. You know, I think the EFB in the Comanche has got to be the best out there now. It's superb. And we're on the glide path. I can see the PAPI lights here. Need to slow down a bit more though. Second notch of flaps coming in now. It even tells you where it's hitting the aircraft as well, so we're right in the nose. So even though it is quite blustery, this shouldn't be too much of an issue since it's not a crosswind. I really like how they, you know, because I remember the EFB style they had in the P3D and FSX versions, and I'm so pleased they've updated it. It looks so modern. One quick look outside, and then we'll definitely concentrate on this landing. I personally feel the Comanche has to be one of the best looking GAs out there, I think. Definitely. Anyway, enough gawping. Let's get back to business here. Go a little high, but that's okay. Just coming down now. Bit more trim. This is where, honestly, this is the feeling of flight really comes into its own. On approach, you just sense those flight dynamics are just so different from other aircraft in the sim.
Diamond Golf, November Delta Yankee Foxtrot, 12 miles east.
Floating a bit here.
Runway 25 approach. Diamond Golf, November Delta Yankee Foxtrot Tower.
But we've made it. There we go.
Altimeter 29er.
Right wheel down first.
Runway 25 approach. 29er Papa exit runway.
So welcome to Thruxton, guys. That was quite a sporty landing.
29er Papa exit runway when able.
Roger that. We'll clean up the flaps. Mixture back to lean again. Landing light off. And fuel pump off as well. And we'll open the window and you can hear those sounds again. We'll take the headphones off. And we'll see if they're doing their bike training. There's lots of things to see here at Thruxton. The Burning Blue design team have done an amazing job.
29er Papa contact ground on 130.45.
You've got cars racing around the track. You've got motorcyclists doing their training. I'm over there talking to some guy about classic bikes. It's a wonderful atmosphere here at Thruxton.
130.45 for 29er Papa.
So that completes our flight in the A2A Comanche with the Reverb G2. It's great to revisit the headset, and I must say, I'm not disappointed at all. I think it's still a fantastic headset even in 2023. Thank you so much for watching as always, I truly appreciate it. Please feel free to subscribe. I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye for now. Time to get a bacon butty from the cafe.